I didn't sleep well last night. Good Friday morning. Welcome to this installment of Philip Needs Advice. Lately there have been way too many things going on. I've shared a lot of that with y'all. And trying to figure out which ones take priority, which ones get the back burner has been very difficult for me. And then adding on top of that, there's a schedule that needs to be kept. Things beyond my control change that schedule, which I'm a control freak, so that messes with me. So I'm gonna ramble just a little bit, and I would like your advice. I'm reaching to the interwebs for advice. I don't know if that's a smart thing or a stupid thing, but it is what it is. First scenario that really jacked with me yesterday. Some of you know I have panic disorder from childhood trauma, and it's a struggle to not spiral down into that panic attack mode or whatever you want to call it. And last night I almost did that, and it's not fun. You know, there's that threshold line, right, of this is normal maintaining and this is panic, and there's different stages of panic, but anything in that stage of panic is horrible. So I was able to contain last night due to some help of an individual. You know who you are, thank you. Kept it within acceptable parameters of an unacceptable category, we'll say. But even just crossing that threshold, just one little bit, just drains me of everything. I'm not acting, I'm sure you can tell. The tone of my voice, the facial features, I don't care, I'm not animated as much. But anything into that panic category just messes with me. And I've dealt with panic attacks and panic disorder, not just little anxiety attacks that most people get, and I'm not trying to downplay it too much, but a lot of people, they compare anxiety attacks to panic attacks, and they're two totally different things. My palms don't get sweaty, I don't get nervous and clammy just because I'm in an uncomfortable situation. And again, I'm making light of it, but I'm not. It's tough for anybody that deals with either of them. But a panic attack is full-blown spiral of, if anybody's familiar with cinematography, the Hitchcock Effect. That Vertigo look that some of the films had back in the 50s, and I mean they still do it now, but it was started back then. When you know that pulling back of the camera while focusing at the same time, giving you that weird blur on the peripheral, but it's pulling into what you're looking at. It literally, when people first saw it in the theaters, it would make them nauseous and give them vertigo. And it's a big deal. You watch it now, when it's done right, you'll get queasy. It's amazing. But having that feeling wash over you, and just a cloud of darkness that comes over, and tunnel vision to where life is just weird at the moment, and then throwing on top of it, for me, I don't get sweats, I don't get shakes until after. I get a heart attack. I literally have that feeling of a heart attack. The heart is palpating, racing, and just loss of control. Can't breathe, and on the verge of eyes rolling back in your head to passing out, and thinking, this is the moment I die, right now. It's over. And for me, the fear that is associated with that is massive. So not that last night got that bad, but it got that little vertigo thing going on. And again, thanks to the help of my dear friend, was able to pull that back a little and eventually go back to sleep. But my point is, anything that just crosses that little line drains me. It could be a hair over, and I just drained for the next 12 to 24 hours. If it's a bigger incident, you know, it used to take months to get back to normal, and I've gotten it. You know, last major panic attack I had, it was about a month. Anyway, I'm saying all of that to say the possible triggers. I haven't figured those out. I do know I'm a control freak, and I like having things set. I don't like being disappointed with people. And if I make some people mad, so be it. Nobody knows the details, nobody knows the individual except that individual, so there's no possible way anybody's going to put two and two together. So if that individual gets mad, it's on the individual, not me, because nobody knows. We're scheduled to shoot, not even going to say when. We're scheduled to shoot and worked through the details. We're scheduled to shoot an episode of Forging Friendships and work through the details. Individual had, you know, a good long while, about 2 months, and I wrote the dates wrong in my calendar, and I actually contacted him a month early saying, are you ready to go in the next few days? And the guy's like, it's next month. So I mean, there's fair warning kind of thing, right? Plenty of fair warning. And you know, working out the time of what time to start. And I'm not some professional film crew. It doesn't take me hours to set up and tear down and days to film an episode. You know, depending on how precise the individual is with what we're talking about. I've been done filming episodes, you know, within a matter of 2.5 to 3 hours. And then there's others that have taken about 5.5 to 6. So it just kind of depends. But my point is, it's a day shoot. It's no more than a day. And I like waking up early and starting early. And I get that that's not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm fine with that. But there's something that bothers me with, you know, let's work through a time, and the time comes back at you know, mid-morning, you know, 10:30. And it's like, you know, and there's playful banter going on of, you know, don't be here before too early because, you know, it's not a pretty sight kind of thing. I get that. That's like great. That's fine. But what I have, and this is just me, and here's where I'm seeking advice. What I have a problem with is when I get a message saying, don't be here before such and such a time because I have a busy morning. Well, hold on. We've known for a while that filming was going to happen. What do you mean you have a busy morning? The day is blocked out for filming. So is it personal rejection that I have a problem with, of something else took more importance? Or is it the not thinking things through and saying, yeah, we put the priorities where the priorities need to be, filming comes first, let's knock this out, we can put things off for a few hours? I don't know what I'm getting at, but it hit me in such a way of being disappointed, to where ample time, get what you need to do done, let's record, go back to normal life. That's what I'm having a problem struggling with, because if it were me, if the tables were reversed and a film crew from whatever show said, hey, we want to film, I'd be like, what day? That's great, I'll block it out. Maybe that's just me. So again, that's where I'm looking for advice on that one. But I had to end up canceling that one because it was going to be tight anyway, as far as travel and getting back in order to get wife back into her routine. So we ended up scrubbing it, and we'll reschedule it later. Not worried about rescheduling it. It'll happen. But it's just that plenty of time to plan. Nah, we got things going on in the morning, so let's do it later. Last minute. That's the thing too. It's all last minute. If you gave me plenty of warning ahead of time, I'd probably been okay with it. That's thing number one. Thing number two is prioritizing knife life and production, video production life. And with the way things are going, knife life is kind of slacking because there's no shows, there's no way to make real money with it. So I'm putting that one on the back burner. I've got some custom orders I'm finishing up, and as soon as they're done, I pretty much think I'm done with custom orders because I just don't like them. I don't like making what other people want. I want to make what I want to make, and if you want to buy it, wonderful. If you don't, and there's somebody else that has something you like, go buy them. That's great for them too. I'm not beefing anything about that, but it's just one of those things that you sit back and you think about, and it just it eats away at me. I'm not driven to do those. I don't get excitement out of them. I don't like doing it because of the stress that's involved. And I know people mean well, that you're always checking in. How's it going? Can I see update photos and this kind of stuff? And you start out and you tell them, like, it's going to take a while. I pad my orders with how much time it's going to take because I know how I am and I know what other things I have going on. So I'm like, it's going to take possibly 6 months. And so I get weekly checks on, well, how's it going? How's it going? I'm like, it has not changed from last week to this week because I've been doing other things. I tell them politely as I know how. I'll inform you when, I'll send you picture updates when something changes, and it's not going to change for a while, but I'll send it to you. But then again, next week, how's it going? Can I see? Again, advice. Is that just me? Is that others? Am I being a whiny little baby? Which I probably am. Or is this the way artists work? I don't know. And is this reasonable? Don't know. Don't have anyone to bounce these ideas off of, all these concerns off of. So those are the two main things that's going on. That are, well, I guess there's three. It's production, keeping up with production, and editing all the videos and all that kind of stuff, and setting timelines, which I've expressed concern with before. I set timelines as goals, and the closer they get, the more I'm like, it's not going to happen, and that feeds the stress. You need to stop setting deadlines and timelines and just do whatever it does, whenever it does, and see how it goes. Again, is that unrealistic? Am I just being, I don't know. But all of that to get to the main point of mental health. I've talked about motivation. I've talked about how we get through the hard days, how we try and find positivity and laughter and all that kind of stuff. And I need to take a little bit of my own medicine. I get that. But it's the mental health. How do we not let these things affect us in such a way that it destroys our mood, our day, our next couple of days, our month, whatever. And if someone has anxiety or panic disorder, how do we not let these things affect that? How can we get gray? How we can get down to the dumps? How can we go through the meh of the day and not get to that point of anxiety and panic disorder kicking in? I don't know if you have the answer. Part of this is just therapeutic, getting off my chest, and if somebody's awesome enough to listen and watch, thank you, seriously. But if you've got advice, shoot it, man. I am not above constructive criticism and advice and someone pointing their finger straight at me and saying, dude, you got a problem. As long as it's followed with, and here's the answer. I'm good with that. Probably rambled enough. I think I've expressed my concerns. Let's go edit all the pauses. I'm not even gonna edit the pauses out. I'm just gonna let this one go. I don't even know how long it's going. I'm just gonna let it go. And if you are an awesome enough individual to watch this all the way to the end, I owe you a hug, a handshake, a cup of coffee, whatever, a deep thank you. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Philip Needs Advice. Have a beautiful Friday and an amazing weekend.